All right. So first of all, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to come to the first Get Acquainted with the Workplace Wellness Ecosystem that I've created. What I would like to do is start a little bit as to why I've created this. I mean, we're a small but mighty group today, obviously. Our group on LinkedIn is growing. I've talked about it with a lot of people this week, and some were able to make it today, some or not. I haven't seen them yet, but we hope they'll be able to make it here today. So what is going into this is, I'm coming to workplace wellness from a bit of a different perspective. I'm coming from the insurance, the corporate influencers perspective of being able to look at the workplace, hear what the employees want. I'm not a healer myself, and that is something that we are absolutely collecting here, but I want to bring together corporate decision makers, which are business owners, human resource professionals, CFOs, COOs, all those within the workplace whose job it is to be in charge of the employee well-being, with the corporate influencers. And those are people like employee benefit insurance agents and payroll companies and professional employer organizations and business coaches, the people who definitely have an influence over what's happening in the businesses by what they're talking to them about. But then I also bring together the health and wellness professionals, because my experience in the last 6.5 years of forming You Define Wellness and getting it out into the world is that there's not a lot of talking going on amongst those three parties. For corporate influencers, it tends to be an afterthought. If a client says to them, hey, I'm interested in the wellness program, then they put their attention on it. But they don't necessarily understand that by recommending and encouraging well-being in the workplace, they can actually be helping their client better with bottom line profits. From the workplace, in some cases, it seems like it's a necessary evil, that they have to have that box that they check that says, yes, we offer a wellness program. And they don't always see it as, I have a talk that I do, and Denise was there with me yesterday on it, is the truth about workplace wellness return on investment. And in my experience of selling employee benefit programs, I never had an employer ask me about return on investment, but when we're talking about wellness programs, they're always asking about it. So it's not in the same bucket as a necessary expense for businesses. But then I also have found that the health and wellness professionals really aren't a part of the conversation. They're not a part of the creating workplace wellness environments. Now, this is a blanket statement that I made, and it's really big, but there are those that are involved, but they tend to be myopic in terms of their specialty as opposed to broad, meeting the needs of all employees. So I've been looking for a group on LinkedIn and Alignable and Facebook and all these different places that can bring together all three components. I hadn't found it. So I actually applied to one social media platform where they have groups that definitely have all three, but in different groups. And I applied to create a group that would bring them all together. And they said no. That, oh, if you want this, then here's this group, and here's this group, and here's this group. And I'd already told them that wasn't doing what I was looking to have it do. And I wanted a separate group. So I decided, well, let's go to LinkedIn. One of the reasons is most of the corporate decision makers and corporate influencers I'm connected with on LinkedIn anyways. So it seemed like a really good place to host our group. Plus, we wouldn't be subject to censorship like this other platform that I was looking at. So that's how it came together. The Workplace Wellness Ecosystem, the name came about because it's a project that John Donnelly and I are both involved in, where we were looking for a mission statement for our organization. And one of the things that I threw out was the word ecosystem. And because I was trying to think of, an environment where all these different parties can collaborate and work together, and without each other, we neither thrive or survive. And the word ecosystem came to mind, and they chose not to use it. So I decided, okay, then it's mine, since I was the one who suggested it in the first place. And I thought, what about a workplace wellness ecosystem? And I thought I was being really original. And I Googled it, and sure enough, I'm not being really original, lo and behold. So it is something that has been talked about out there. So people do, I think, fundamentally understand the concept of it. So that's the background on how the workplace wellness ecosystem came about and what my vision is for it. This is a non-sales platform. So it's, even though we are all in business for ourselves, this is not a place to be promoting our businesses. I have invited competitors of mine to join the workplace wellness ecosystem, and they have done so. And I welcome them because we can all collaborate together. We can all thrive together. When you think of an ecosystem in nature, there are many similar species that cohabitate together, and they need each other to survive. So that's exactly why I reached out to all of them, because this is not You Define Wellness, but that is, of course, my company. What I would like to do is to go around and talk about, let's get acquainted and introduce yourself, but also talk about what it is you're doing in workplace wellness? What are your thoughts about workplace wellness, so that we could start coming up with some sort of a mission and collective of to how we want to organize ourselves as the workplace wellness ecosystem. And John, you were here first, so I'm going to go with you first.
Thanks, Denise, and I just love your vision for this. And so our strategy, Denise, is very similar, like in what you've outlined there, is the conversation. First of all, the conversation with holistic professionals, well, health and wellness professionals within the corporate workspace. So far seems to be the holistic professionals prefer to go in alone, or in sort of isolated sort of groups, without bringing corporate sort of expertise with them, if you like. And that's very daunting, I think, for holistic professionals to try and get contracts in corporate space without actually having corporate people with them on that journey. So my strategy was to employ corporate sales and marketing professionals to actually open the door. And once they open the door, then we bring in the experts behind that, the holistic experts behind that. And that's the strategy that we've adopted. And I think that strategy is going to work really, really well. And the corporate influencers, and that's the one that we probably still have to address, how we get the influencers on board from the insurance side with us. That's the one bit that we're still missing at the moment, but we're working on that.
Yeah. So how are you working and getting directly with the corporate side to help get you in the door?
Yeah, so we have a sales and marketing team who are corporate people. They're corporate people. They understand corporate. They're working in corporate, and they have their own corporate. And so we basically send them in, if you like, to open the conversation. Okay. And then we picked initially we picked one product, which was an NLP seminar. So you haven't met Hugh yet, Denise. You've met Hugh. Hugh is a master NLP practitioner. So he went in and delivered his seminar on NLP, and that was the door opener initially. Now that's one of many door openers that we can have, but that NLP seminar was actually a door opener. And once that got us in the door, then we bring in the sleep experts and the nutrition experts and the muscle tuner experts, and so that's the process that we're working on, is delivering a series of follow-up seminars and workshops with holistic experts coming in on the back of getting the door opened with the NLP product.
Okay, that's awesome. Denise.
So I'm hanging out because John is showing me an opportunity which I wanted for my company from the get-go. And you and I had a conversation about, I am not the perfect fit for your group at the moment. in John's world, I can open conversations and provide virtual programs for companies, but I don't want to continue doing that.
Mhm.
I want to train muscle tuner specialists who can go in person, on site, or offer virtual, and I will coach them, mentor them, and help them create programs that are perfect fit for whatever the employer and the employees need.
Mhm.
My vision was to train people and say, there's a job over there, the big box outfit with the warehouse that they pay insane insurance costs from accidents on the job, people pulling their lower back, etc. Like there's all this cost to having people not being productive at work because they're out of shape or they, for whatever reason. So we balance people from head to foot, front to back, right to left, so that you can function with less chance of injury. And so I just recently put together a proposal for John to say, this is the way I would like to approach workplace wellness from me, is this is the draw, is, hey, let's tune up some of your people as little as they can do virtually. They'll increase their vitality. It's fun, it's weird, it's different. And it helps them have vitality, and it protects their joints, it supports their muscles. So then when they're out being a weekend warrior, they're also at less chance of injury in their free time. So wherever I can find a path, this is why I'm attending, is not really for me. It is mostly for the people I wish to train and say, there's a pathway if you want to work in corporate. There is something there, because I'm looking for people to work in senior centers. I'm looking for people who want to go and be not the fitness trainer in a gym, but be the specialist that tunes you up. Now go see your personal trainer and see what you're going to do. So my perspective is really just to have my foot in the door, have people understand about my brand, what I do, and to make a fit. Because I could train more people if they went, I don't have to spend time marketing myself because I'm not really good at that. Because a lot of people, as John has said, they're really supreme technicians. They're horrible at marketing themselves.
Yes, they are.
So that's why I'm here.
Okay. Betsy, what do you want to contribute here?
Oh, well, that's a novel concept. Because that's I'm just going to specifically think about a conversation I had with a caseworker, literally, who handled my file for a while. And one of the things that she loved about her previous manager was they would bring in somebody once a month to work with stress, work with the ergonomics. So that is a different foot in the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So,
and yes, and then all of the practitioners would be available in You Define Wellness.
well, remember, this group isn't anything about You Define Wellness. So
I know it just has your
appreciate the
little
plug.
logo up there on your picture.
But I always appreciate the plug, Betsy.
Yeah,
but-
and everything that I've been showing up with lately, no matter what platform or group, it has wellness in the name right now. So I think
Yeah.
I'm getting a message somewhere.
Yeah, the universe is talking to you there. So let me ask you this: when you hear the words workplace wellness ecosystem, what would you expect to receive from a group? Go ahead.
Wow, a little terrarium almost kind of experience that's relaxing and hydrating
Mm-hmm.
to the spirit and the body, that can operate in all levels without cannibalizing another area. Just that whole terrarium that works together.
Okay. John or Denise?
Yeah, for me, Denise, it's like a mastermind for health and wellness. So
Mhm.
like you've got like we were talking about masterminds a minute ago, but you've got many different types of business masterminds. But for me, this is like a mastermind for health and wellness within the corporate workspace. And there's so many different strands we need to bring into that conversation. As you say, it's about, first of all, we got to have the conversation. We've got to find the interested parties, and we've got to get everybody aligned. And then once you have all that in place, then it's an easy sell. I think it's a really easy sell, because the corporate decision maker is looking for the solution, and they don't want to necessarily speak to 20 people. If they're happy, if they can just speak to one person, and that one person can deliver the solution, then I think we've got an easy sell, you know?
Absolutely. Denise?
I love the word ecosystem, and I love the analogy or the metaphor of the terrarium, because some people need to dig their roots into the little bit of dirt there. Others just want to grow and thrive. Other people, you know, it's about the oxygen that's there. And that's where your program, where you have so many different, a variety of providers. You said over 130 different types of services that go, like, from financial and life counseling and, you know, clinical counseling is in there, I'm sure, as well as the Reiki and the woo-woo. And, you know, so the ecosystem is a beautiful term to say, what is it that you need in this bubble? Because it could be different, like, and as your presentation the other day, it is different. Everybody has a different need, a different want. And I know that when I've been in corporate, the person down the road from me had totally different needs medically, emotionally, and spiritually than everybody else if you kept walking down the hall. And so this, John, I don't know if you heard this piece of it, but having one program, one size fits all for a company, you probably won't get the same participation rate, because not everybody's going to want to do Reiki or meditation or NLP or better communication skills or whatever it is you're giving. So the ecosystem that's user defined is, you're really on target there, Denise. I love it. And there's a plethora of masterminds you can choose from. Just pick something. Like, if a company said, if you want to go bang a drum on a mountain, go do it. Or if you want to sit and meditate in your, you know, on a cushion in your bedroom, let's teach you how to do that. Or if you want what other service, just pick something off the menu. It would be lovely. And I don't know if that would increase the participation rates, where people could go, really? I could go get financial counseling or this, or this, or this, as long as I participate, you know, X number of hours a year in something, and I can choose it. That would be glorious.
Yeah. That's all about, I mean, I appreciate this confirmation of what our business model is, but I want to focus on this as an ecosystem, that not you define wellness, but on the Workplace Wellness Ecosystem group. John, you both used the word mastermind, and I love that word mastermind, and it kind of flagged something for me. And I think that's hitting the nail on the head as to exactly what we need to do and what we need to come about. So let me throw an idea past you guys that I'm literally bouncing around right now. So I'm talking off the top of my head, guys, is, what if our purpose as the ecosystem was to be a mastermind with perhaps quarterly mastermind events where we invite in a decision maker, invite in influencers, invite in health and wellness professionals to be part of roundtable discussions and to give their perspective and what their challenges are in developing a healthier workplace environment, which is the mission of this ecosystem, is to create and support healthier and more thriving workplace environments. What do you guys think of that idea off the top of my head?
Definitely, we'd be more efficient to get decision makers at corporate level to come in and find out more what's about.
I think it's education and awareness for them. It gives them something to start thinking about for their own bottom line.
And the benefit is that, like John was saying, they can come to one place and get a solution. And definitely need to understand their needs. But if they could go to one place as a resource provider for whatever happens to pop up this month or this year in their business, they go, Denise's group will take care of that. I just got to give her a call and say, we've got this, what's this challenge? Can you help me with this?
Yeah.
That is where the ecosystem would support, because everybody's growing together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Denise, I mean, to start the ball rolling, I mean, this, what you're creating here, just with this conversation, I mean, if we can just expand this conversation, if you could have even an event every 3 months or 2 months, you could have an event, and you could bring all the key influencers from each of the segments, right? So the corporate decision makers, the influencers, and the holistic professionals onto one event, even once every 3 months or something. You could actually create a workplace wellness event with that purpose in mind, and that could be the conversation piece that would open many doors. I think that is very achievable.
I think a quarterly event is exactly what we would be looking at. So I'm looking at perhaps October as being a good time to do this. We've got something big happening in September. I don't want to, that's already taking up a lot of time. But in October, that also gives us an opportunity to get some really good people to come in and be speakers at this event mastermind that we do. So let me ask you in logistics here, because boy, I'm putting this all together right now. This is a lot of fun. This is the way I operate, guys. You got to buckle your seatbelt when you're around me sometimes.
True.
Is it better to have a speaker, or is it better to have a panel of speakers, such as a panel of decision makers, or a panel of decision makers, influencers, and health professionals who work in the workplace wellness environment? Which
I would say a panel with maybe two from each group, something like that.
And then maybe have breakout rooms that are available afterwards.
The breakout rooms would, by topic, would be really great.
Yes, I agree.
I've seen at Exceptional Entrepreneurs, they say, okay, do you want to go to room 1? This is about this topic, in room 2, room 3. That's a fantastic model. Then people can go hang out in a room and have conversations with people of like mind. To me, the challenge is getting the decision makers to attend. What's the benefit to them? And as far as having the providers there, I'm not sure that is as important as having the decision makers come in and say, this is what we're noticing at our work. We want to give it. We're interested in giving it. These are our challenges, and blah, blah, blah. And then preparing for, you're well versed with what people say, and say, great, then I would suggest that you go to the breakout room about this topic or that topic that would suit you, but you're at choice. There's a whole, maybe something else will catch your eye, but based on what you've shared, or you don't even have to share out loud because it might be embarrassing. Just pick a room and go hang out, be a fly on the wall, and participate in the conversation. I think the value will be the interaction at a specific level for that person's issue. So a general short presentation about what we're all about, but a good deal of time in the breakout rooms where connections can be done and follow-ups can be set.
Are you okay, Betsy?
Yeah, did my speaker come back on? I was so sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. I just want to make sure you're safe. I think I'm going to go this direction with this group. Events are always a great way to get people engaged and involved in the organizations. And so I will schedule some planning meetings. I will be one of those people who pretty much sets the format of everything, throw it out there. I'm always open to feedback and suggestions. topics for the breakout rooms, I definitely need ideas on the different types of topics that can be out there. These are things that also can be sponsored. So as an example, Denise, if you wanted to have one about what you guys do specifically as to introduce employers to, we can absolutely do that. The key is, of course, getting the word out about it and letting people know about it. And for me is not having just health and wellness professionals there. I really want to have that mixture because that's what the ecosystem is all about. So that I've got connections with a lot of business owners and HR people. They're not here today. Some of them have joined the ecosystem, but there's a lot of noise going on in the world. And so we have to find our way out of that noise. And that will be, this gives me 3 months to be working on letting them know about this. So I will find a date and a time that works best. John, it seems that this time of the morning tends to work well for you. Seeing as I see you at this time of the morning, for me, a lot. Is it a good time for you or not?
Yeah, I'll prioritize this, Denise, anyway, because this is important. Yeah, I got to run now, Denise.
Okay.
So
yeah. Thank you for
we'll
being
catch
here.
up next week. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get a one-to-one next week. Yeah.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Okay. See you
Okay.
later. Betsy, see you later. Yeah.
Awesome.
Bye, John.
Bye.
Okay, so from my perspective, Denise, my networking in the last 2.5 years has all been more or less groups that are solopreneurs like me. But there are corporate people I could probably reach out and say, can you give a shake in your HR department?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I think a call to action at different network events, when you get the floor, like at JV Directory, it's a small amount to say, this is what I'm doing a summit, I'm doing an event, it's important, this is the vision and the mission.
Yeah, you can always put them in the chat box too. So.
Yeah, but the chat box sometimes don't draw people to take action. Mm-hmm. So let me think on how we can get people to tell their HR departments, you need to come to this because it'll be a one-stop shop to explore. Okay. It's actually an expo. Mm-hmm. In the corporate world, it's an expo. And the idea of a mastermind, I'm about the mastermind idea. So, but health and wellness providers solution expo, something that I think might hit the HR people a little bit better, because then they'll expect to see a variety of things like when they attend an actual expo. Yeah, a Workplace Wellness Ecosystem Expo. Something like that. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Actually, for the logo for it, there's some fun things you can do with WWEE. So, wee! Yay! Okay. Anyway, thanks for pulling us together. Yeah. You're everywhere, man. You're doing tons of work. I applaud you for that. Obviously, you love it. Well, I do love it. I'm very passionate about it. I have been for 6.5 years. It's dominated my life. But you know, there's so many good things that are happening right now, and everything's opening up, and everything's coming together in an amazing way. So I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to go ahead and end this recording. I am going to post this in the ecosystem LinkedIn group, just for those who want to see it. And I will post when planning meetings will be, and I'll do updates in there as well. But we're going to start getting some information out in that group.